Well, last night was a pretty exciting night for me because I finally figured out what was wrong with my car. For those of you who don't know, I've had an issue where the driver's side bank has been running lean and the passenger side bank has been running really rich. And it's taken me forever to figure it out, but I finally found out that I just wired the injectors and the coils actually in the wrong order. So they were still operating correctly, they just were not operating in sync with when the engine wants them to be firing. So glad I sorted that out, but I can finally say that I think this car is actually ready to make some power now. I do need to do some tuning to get it back idling where it needs to, because things were way off, and I'm going to be making a lot of adjustments. So goal today, I want to drive the car today, but goal right now is to get it idling and get it within AFR range and kind of fine tune things. So when I do go drive, hopefully things won't be too far off. So I think first off, I'm just going to start it and let's see if we can get this thing idling. All right, so we have things. Let's start the car. There it is. Turn on the car. So I got the tune opened. I pulled a ton of fuel out of my VE table because it was running super rich. And so that'll just give me a little better starting point there. But really, all I can do is start the car and see where we're at. Bring the idle down a little bit. Well, I was able to get the car to somewhat idle. Definitely isn't wanting to idle smooth. I'm still struggling with this LS throttle body. I don't know how well I like it, but is what it is. And I don't know, maybe I don't have it hooked up right, but just not wanting to. You're just not wanting to idle where I want it to, but that's all right. I'm actually going to pull it out of the shop here. That way I'm not just running in the shop, and maybe do a little tuning and hopefully go for a little drive. Idle surging is a sign of lean, which we are. She wants to boogie now. She going to. Oh my gosh, it works. Well, yesterday on my drive, we just had a little overheating issue, and when it finally cooled back, I was able to check the coolant, and it did look a little low, so I'm just hoping that that was the case there. So we are going to start her back up and do a little more tuning. But man, this thing rips. It's not even tuned yet, and I forgot how much torque these things have. Well, it looks like things are doing a lot better. Once my fan turned on, it's actually dropping the temp again, whereas yesterday it just kept climbing. So I think adding coolant made a big difference. So I think we're gonna go for a little test drive and see how it goes. Well, we're back working on the car again, but hey, I'll take this over fighting engine or wiring problems any day. So we're still fighting the overheating issue. Going back and talking to everybody that has kind of been running these, seems like I'm really the only one that is running an aftermarket thermostat relocated to the top. Everyone else is just running stock location, which is right here. Mine is up top there in a housing that I welded on. So I'm gonna be removing that. And then I got a OEM Subaru one to put back down here and see if that helps. It could be that it's having trouble burping the system and everything. I would think that it would still work, or maybe that thermostat's not working very good. So I'm just gonna change it to an OEM one and see how that works. So I guess we need to drain the coolant, which always sucks, and swap it out.
Still heating up.
Yeah. So we got everything all drained out, cleaned up all the silicone. Gosh, I hate draining coolant. It just gets everywhere. But anyways, got all the silicone cleaned up off of everything. New thermostat. This is actually an STI thermostat, but they're all the same as all the Imprezas and everything, pretty much the same. So that's going in, and then instead of coolant, I'm just going to be using distilled water and water wetter. This is supposed to help cool better. They say lower 20 degrees, but I'm sure that's under very special circumstances. But hey, take all the help we can get. So let's get this all put together up here. Then we need to remove the upper thermostat, and we can start putting water in. All right, everything is back together there. Just need to do that clamp, but I'll do that from the top. So I think for everything underneath, we are done, which is nice because I hate working with coolant underneath. So now we can lower the car and remove the thermostat up there. So here is my upper thermostat. It's just kind of a universal thing you can get from Summit Racing. So the thermostat obviously goes between here, and the story behind that is, if you look at the old SVX, and an SVX is what this engine came out of, but if you look at the old forums, you have those guys there that were pushing the engines hard that found that at high RPMs the pump moves faster. The pump actually moves faster than the liquid can keep up with, so it actually starts cavitating. So their solution was to move the thermostat to the top, and that supposedly solved that issue. Now, I don't know how credible that is or if it works or not. So I always did that just because I was like, hey, I'm pushing this engine harder than it was stock. So I figured why not? But after going and asking everyone who is running this engine if they're doing it, doesn't sound like anyone really is, and they're not having trouble. So that is why I'm kind of changing this out. Now I'm gonna be obviously keeping this housing because it is welded onto my radiator, but I'm just gonna be removing the thermostat and putting it back in, so then it's just obviously hollow, so the fluid can just pass through easily. I guess let's put this housing back on and we can start putting fluid in. This is the first time I've used this water wetter. Everyone says it works really good. So with this, you just use distilled water, and then it says pretty much put a full bottle in per coolant system. Yeah, cooling system above 12 to 20 quarts. And obviously it's below that. It's like 1 ounce per, and 1 ounce per quart. But yeah, so you just put it straight into your system, then you don't use coolant at all. Well, I think she's gonna take all the water she can take not running. So time to kick her on. Well guys, I just got back from taking her out for a cruise, and she did really well actually. The coolant stayed right where I wanted her. No overheating, so yeah, that is a huge win for us. And this car is getting pretty close to getting tuned. But I think I'm gonna upgrade to an air oil separator. I think that is beneficial for me. I have these catch cans, but I think it'll be better to have an air oil separator. So I'm gonna look in which one I want. What's hard is I just don't know where to put it. I don't know, here, not a lot of room there. Really all I have is here or here. So we're definitely gonna have to figure out the best way to do that. So that's just gonna have to be something that I just add along the way. I also need to add an oil cooler. I think the only place that I can realistically do it is behind the bumper here, and I might be able to duct some air through here, both of these, but that's just something that I'm gonna have to figure out along the way. But this car is finally operating correctly, and that is a really good feeling. But I think I'm gonna end this one here. We are getting close to we're getting close to be able to tune this, and that makes me really happy. So thank you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.